the Golden Gate Bridge on a beautiful late fall day. We're in Berkeley, California, and inside Haas Pavilion for the ACC opener between the Stanford Cardinal and the California Golden Bears, a matchup that began in 1911 and continues in 2024 with all kinds of synergy, including the head coach Mark Madsen, who played at Stanford, and Eric Reveneau, an assistant at Stanford, who played at Stanford. Dave Feldman, along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams, the Pac-8, the Pac-10, the Pac-12. Stanford and Cal have a history, but now, Corey, they're in the ACC.
I mean, go figure. We're just a couple of miles away from the Pacific, but it's the Atlantic Coast Conference who starts their season right now. It's going to be a great game.
Stanford off to a great start. They're 7-2. They're led by their 7-foot Frenchman, Maxime Reynaud.
This is the kind of 7-footer every coach in the country wants. An active big man with great touch around the rim. You see the finesse, but he has a presence in the paint. Block shots, he can shoot the three, he can rebound, he can finish. He literally does it all. Not too many big men with that skill set, a special player, and we're going to be in for a big game from him today.
He's top 10 in the country in scoring and in rebounding, and last year was the Pac-12's most improved player. How scary is that?
Very
He's
scary.
doubled his performance this year.
No question, the double-double is off the charts. Very good player.
Cal off to a great start, 6-2, led by a famous guy, Stojakovic, not Peja, his son, Andre, who last year played at Stanford.
No question about this guy. Talk about greatness running in the family. There he is early, getting locked in, getting some shots up, knowing exactly what's going to be expected of him tonight. A great player, scoring, rebounding, assists, all around. He's the go-to guy for the Bears.
Averaging over 18 points per game, gone to the free throw line more this season than he did all of last season at Stanford. And he said one of the things he really loved about playing for Mark Madsen was the transparency. He told him his role. He said, this is what we expect from you, and he has kept to it. And this guy is a future pro and an exciting player, Corey. Well, Stanford and Cal has a history. Of course, Cal won the big game in football a couple weeks ago. We mentioned this rivalry began in 1911. It's teams that normally don't like each other, Corey. They normally play for the axe. And when they play in basketball, as if when they play in football or when they play in twiddlywinks, Stanford doesn't want to lose to Cal, and Cal does not want to lose to Stanford.
Might be a new league, but it's an old rivalry, no question about it. Very unusual to be playing this game in December, but going to be intense.
21 is Jalen Blakes for Stanford. He was his player at Duke, and now a much bigger role here with the Stanford Cardinal. Reynaud's first three of the game. Perfect.
You see right there Stanford's offense. 3 deliberate picks with Reynaud until they got what they wanted. He was involved in all 3 of those offensive actions. They know to get him involved either on the roll or on the pick and pop.
36% from 3 is Maxime Reynaud, and not afraid to shoot it. Josiah Sellers rises up and dunks it. 4-0 Cal, 5-0 Stanford.
And call me crazy, but give Reynaud credit for that. He rotates over and takes away the layup, causing the hesitation and the turnover.
Stojakovic off the mark, and Kamen clears it for Stanford. Now Blake's working against Petrides, gets the screen. Same play they just ran, Corey.
You see Reynaud on all these ball actions. Now they're going to bring it over for a post entry. Watch the attention he attracts.
Reynaud is perfect. He's got a 3, he's got a turnaround 2.
And if he gets no attention, there's the result. One-on-one, he is too much to handle. They got to send a second guy.
Confidence soaring for last year's most improved player in the Pac-12. Stojakovic splits the defender. Left hand, deferred maybe, but the cleanup is there by Marty Sissoko.
And that's good downhill action for the Bears. Get the ball to the rim, create some mismatches, and you see the offensive rebound and putback. The Bears with enough size to deal with Stanford in the paint.
Blakes pulls up, and Stanford off to a torrid start.
Great looks, great one-on-one effort early on from Stanford.
Now Stojakovic doesn't use the screen and goes right at Reynaud, slips, loses his footing, and out of bounds. Ball goes to Stanford.
And Dave, that's the second turnover Cal's had attacking Renault. Probably not a good business decision. When you get in that deep, find a shooter or shoot the floater before you get all the way to him.
Blake's had a limited role at Duke last season and flourishing here for first-year coach Kyle Smith. Renault, that is news. He missed his first shot. Soko high for the rebound. Joshua Ola-Joseph cut off. Blackshear inside, misses, and Renault called for the foul. So Maxime Renault picks up his first foul, and Jovan Blackshear, the transfer from Grand Canyon, where he helped Grand Canyon go to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, will go to the foul line.
Not a whole lot of contact there.
No.
That's a cheap one.
A few years ago, Blackshear was the MVP of the WAC tournament in helping Grand Canyon earn an NCAA berth. Then he had a devastating knee injury and has found a new home here in Berkeley. Grew up in Oakland. He's back home. Stanford's made 4 of their 5 shots, Corey. Only missed 1.
Early moments, good adrenaline from the Cardinals. Great looks one-on-one.
Blake's beautiful hesitation.
And you get that because your defensive big has to stay tied to Renault, and you end up with the finger roll layup in the lane. The Cardinal really sharp on their execution.
Ola-Joseph off. Cameron runs down the rebound. Stanford trying to add to their lead, up 11-4. Blake's really pushing it. Ryan Agarwal in the corner, and he's good.
Boy, Cal is going to have to do something to disrupt this rhythm that Stanford's playing with. It doesn't matter if it's in the half court or in transition. Cardinal moving the ball, knocking down shots. Great back cut.
Ola-Joseph met at the rim by Renault. And a jump ball. Cal will keep it. That was 2 guys meeting high up there.
And that's a big play because that could be the second foul on the 7-footer right here. This is what you want to do. Back cut, attack the rim. Renault doesn't commit the foul up top, but definitely some contact below. No call. Cardinal very fortunate that wasn't his second foul.
Another foul on the floor. That foul that they just called was, that they didn't call, was more of a foul than the one they called him.
I agree with you 100%, but we're not wearing stripes.
No, we're not. Agarwal picks up his first foul.
I like the aggressiveness from Cal, not afraid to play the bigs one-on-one inside, attacking the rim, not being afraid of the 7-footer.
Ola-Joseph kicks it out. Stojakovic goes back to him. Ola-Joseph spinning, goes up, does everything but goes in, and the ball goes off Renault. And I think Cal is going to keep it. Been all Stanford so far. They barely missed, and the Cardinal up 14-4 on the road. Been all Stanford early on, 14-4. They've both taken 7 shots, but Stanford's made 6. And Cal's made 1. Corey, what's Cal got to do to get the ball in the hoop?
Absolutely nothing. They've been playing good basketball. They've had the same kind of look Stanford's had. They just got to stay the course. There's no way they're going to go 14% all game.
Titus misses from the corner. Cameron runs it down.
And at the same token, if Stanford finishes this game at 87% from the floor, I'll buy you dinner. How about that?
Well, that would be a first.
87%, that's your goal.
Blakes kicks it in the corner. Cameron is open. No good, and Ola-Joseph gets it for the Bears. Cal's missed their last 5 shots. Stojakovic finally on the board. He averages almost 19 a game.
Great body control, taking it right at the 7-footer. Good finesse, putting it in the left hand.
look at the three. Sellers goes down, Cal rises, and Sissoko with the block. And here come the Bears. Stojakovic rises, but blocked by Blakes. And Rayo on the other end. What a sequence for the Cardinal.
A lot of great basketball right there. Started defensively with Cal, but then Stanford making a great defensive play of their own, and the big man running the court needed to be rewarded.
Blackshirt gets the Bears back in motion. Trevon Blackshirt picks the pocket of Blakes. And then Blakes comes back and blocks it. What a recovery. Sellers left open. And a foul on Cameron coming over the back.
This is the kind of effort you want. When you get your pocket picked, you can't give up on the play. Blake's sensational. Runs him down, pins it to the glass, and at the other end, the Cardinal in attack mode. But that's what coaches want, accountability. You make a turnover, go make a play.
Jeremiah Wilkinson in for Cal, number 0. He's the man with the ball. He's a freshman. Alley-oop to Ola Joseph, who couldn't finish, but a foul on the floor. And Ola Joseph goes down hard. The good news is that he's getting up.
Dave, Cal recognized that 1-3-1 zone right away. They went right into their set, and they threw this backdoor lob. There you see the screen. He's got a clear path, but gets a piece of him, and he goes to the floor pretty hard.
Foul was on number 10, Chisholm Okpara, former Harvard player who transferred to Stanford. Stojakovic misses everything. And Lee Dort, who's checked in 34, the ball goes off of his hands. Spencer Mahoney, the freshman, who was recruited and redshirted at Washington State for Kyle Smith last season. In for the Golden Bears. Reynaud against Dort. The left-hand floater. The tip by Agarwal, no good. Dort clears it. Stojakovic. Over Reynaud.
With the big fella on roller skates, he knew he had the mismatch. Great ball control, beautiful move.
Cal down just 6. The left again, this one good. Corey, he is good with either hand.
And he talked about how much more polished his game is than last season. It's plays like that. The smoothness, the confidence when he gets the ball. He knows he's unstoppable.
Wilkinson way off. Dort right there. Blocked by Agarwal, but a whistle.
A smart offensive player always knows when there's a mismatch. And what you're going to see is acknowledgement, get the big fella on roller skates, rock him to sleep, and then you raise up. But at the other end, no double team, crab dribble to the middle, nice little floater in the lane. We talked about his touch. That's one of the things that's hard. When he's up there shooting that ball, he's by himself. So it's all about the touch and the finish.
Reynaud said he didn't have a good left hand when he got to Stanford, and he really worked on it, and now he's almost ambidextrous.
You know, the thing about that is
we'd like to welcome all of you that watch North Carolina and Georgia Tech on the ACC Network. Dave Feldman, Corey Williams, you're at Haas Pavilion for an ACC, that's right, ACC game between Stanford and Cal. It's been all Stanford early, led by Maxime Reynaud, the 7-footer who has 9 of Stanford's 18. Cal has come back. It is now 18-11.
Renault's left hand. That comes out of necessity. When you play against good coaches and good programs, they're going to force you left. So you remove that.
Benny Geeler for three. No good. Fresh 20 for Stanford. Blake's off 1 foot. Got it.
I mean, believe it or not, there's not a lot of pressure on a shot like that. 1 foot fade away as the shot clock is winding down. It's still a tough shot.
Blake's off 1 foot. Got it.
I mean, believe it or not, there's not a lot of pressure on a shot like that. 1 foot fade away as the shot clock is winding down. It's still a tough shot.
Wilkinson, a lot of contact.
Well, they're letting them play today, Dave.
Talia Toure was the trailer. He gives it up. He's a freshman, number 3. Blake's again. Boy, Blake's is taking some difficult shots.
Right now, he's being leaned on to create things offensively.
Oh, Blacksher drives in, draws the foul. What a handle.
My goodness.
Stanford on top, 2011. The big man, Maxime Renault, carrying the load. Well, the ACC certainly has changed, Corey Williams. 2023, these were the 15 teams, all East Coast based. Obviously, in 2024, a new landscape. Cal and Stanford join. SMU joins out of Dallas. And all of a sudden, the ACC has 18 teams. Thanks for joining us, Dave Feldman, former Arizona standout. Corey Williams, can you believe Stanford and Cal are in the ACC?
No, I can't when the Pacific Ocean is not too far from here. But that's the world we're living in, folks.
Renault, Maxime Renault for Stanford. He's got 9 of their 20 points. He's a 7-footer. He was last year's most improved player in the Pac-12, and this year he's top 10 in scoring, top 10 in rebounding nationally, and has carried the load so far.
He's one of the best 7-footers you're going to see in the country when you talk about skill set. Can knock down the 3, can rebound, can block shots. He's good in transition. He's playing with a whole new level of confidence this year, and there you see the national rankings and those kind of numbers. Every coach in the country would want a 7-footer that puts in that kind of work.
Talking to Stanford assistant Eric Reveneau, who was a standout at Stanford and locally at the Menlo School in Menlo Park. Javon Blacksher at the free throw line, the former WAC MVP, tournament MVP at Grand Canyon, and helped Grand Canyon and the Lopes go to the NCAA tournament 3 times. He'll now get a break. And 22, Christian Tucker, the senior from Chandler, Arizona, comes in. As hot as Stanford started, Corey, it's only a 7-point game.
And that lead is a direct result of that 6-for-7 start from the floor, knocking down 3s and layups.
Chisholm Okpara, the Stanford transfer, out to Isaiah Sellers. Back to Okpara. And Okpara draws the foul, going right at the big man, Spencer Mahoney.
Either way you look at it, great offense by Stanford to end up getting some free throws with the shot clock winding down. But if you're Cal, you want to go just straight up, contest this, and get the stop, not commit the foul.
If you're Kyle Smith, how long do you leave Renault on the bench?
I think right now, early on, if you're ahead 2 or 3 possessions, that's time where you can rest your 7-footer. Anything big happens and you sense a momentum shift, then you come back with him. But right now, Stanford, they need to develop offense with him out of the game. The more players that join the party, the better off they'll be down the stretch and in the season.
(22-13) Cardinal. This is the earliest, by the way, these 2 teams have ever played. Never played before Christmas before. Wilkinson, the freshman. Now Tucker. Wilkinson has averaged 20 points the last 4 games and tries to get the heat up again. Nice shovel pass, and Toure left alone, and he is clobbered. And he will go to the free throw line. Good interior passing, Corey, by the Cardinals.
Yeah, the ball movement for Stanford's been extraordinary. Guys aren't forcing anything. They're looking for their teammates once and then looking for their teammates twice. They're getting to the free throw line just by getting the Bears out of position.
Toure, the freshman, good. Hey, Sunday afternoon, our ACC Network women's basketball tripleheader starts at noon Eastern with number 10 Notre Dame taking on Syracuse, and then SMU squares off against Florida State. Finish up with number 8 Duke hosting Virginia Tech at Cameron Indoor. Cal so far just 4-17 from the field, shooting 23%.
It's going to be about mental toughness for the Bears. They're getting good looks. They have to keep shooting. And that's another thing they need to continue to do. Attack the rim.
Tucker, great pass to Lee Dort, who got fouled. So Lee Dort will go to the free throw line, and Toure picks up his second foul. Lee Dort, who played at Vanderbilt prior to coming to Berkeley. Great interior post player, not a good free throw shooter, and as sure as I say that, the 53% free throw shooter, Corey, knocks it in.
Dave, you jinx everybody. If they're good and you say it, they miss. If they're not, you say it and then make it.
So I should shut up. Maxime Renaud back in with his 9 points. He makes both. Look pretty good there. 24-15 Stanford.
And Dave, you feel like if Cal can put together a few defensive stops, they can get right back in this game. This crowd, student section ready to explode. They've got to get some stops.
Keeler cut off by Petritis. Now Akpara. And Stojakovic wanted him called for an offensive hook, which he may have done, Corey, but instead they called it on Stojakovic.
Well, that's fielder's choice on that one. Stojakovic kind of puts the knee out there. I don't know, not a lot of contact, to be honest with you. Could have been a good no call.
Keeler has it swatted out by Dort.
As I said earlier, I love the presence of the Cal bigs. They're not backing down. They're blocking shots. They're trying to dunk on people. This is what you need, a great second-line defense. Point guard drives, you send it over there to the cheerleaders.
Stanford's got to get a shot up. 3. Keeler does. No good. And Blacksher with the rebound. Hits the deck and knocks it in. Petritis makes it 24-17.
Beautiful move by Petritis. Cal having no problem getting in the lane.
Stenson's first shot way off the mark.
Back-to-back stops for the Golden Bears. This could be a big possession offensively.
Stojakovic lost the handle going up.
And he felt he was hacked.
Stenson's second 3 on the way, and that one's good.
Well, you talk about a momentum swing. Cal was about to draw it closer with a monster dunk, but at the other end, Stanford able to convert.
Stojakovic hard to the hole and lays it in. I think he just lost the handle on that dunk court.
I think so, and you can see he had his mind made up that second trip just now. He's going to the rim. He's going to start to assert himself and make a statement.
Petritis dives to the floor. Great hustle. That's what Petritis does, by the way. He plays at about 150% all the time. He did that at Air Force before he got here. You play for the Air Force, you figure you're going to play hard. Petritis does, and still does as a Cal Bear. 27-19, Stanford on top. v.org/Stewart. And Corey, on a personal note, I will tell you that in 1996, the first sports center I ever did in Bristol, Connecticut was with Stuart Scott, and I was terrified. And Stuart Scott, a lot of people don't know what a nice person he was to younger people trying to make it in this business. We were doing the Open, and I was terrified, Corey, as you could expect, as you know from working with me. And I said, hey, Stu, I'm a little tight, man. If there's anything you could do to loosen me up, I really would appreciate it. Reno misses everything. And so as the Open comes up, Corey, he says, hey, everybody, making his maiden voyage is Dave Feldman. I'm Stu Scott. And he goes, whoa, man, what's up with that afro? I had a red afro. It was big. He goes, that thing's kind of out of whack. And it made me laugh, and it loosened me up. Stojakovic down the lane. And it made me relax.
Sure.
And I realized voices would come out of my mouth and I could speak. And so I always had a soft spot in my heart for Stu Scott, who kind of took me under his wing for that sports center. Just a tremendous guy.
No question about it. Thousands of great stories about who he was as a person, and obviously we know who he was as a professional.
And you know, and also Stu Scott deserves credit for sticking with who he was, right? I mean, he did broadcasting the way he wanted to do it. And there were others that challenged him on it, and he did a fantastic, from your hometown.
Absolutely. Craig Sager, Batavia alum. You know, obviously a lot of people know Craig, and just another one of those great people who fought valiantly against that dreaded disease.
And you guys wore the same number too. Well, V Week is special. We'll be right back. It's 27-23 Stanford. We are back and continuing our V Week theme. Corey, I know there's a certain shout out to someone very near and dear to your heart, your father, you want to mention.
Yeah, shout out my dad. You know, 2-0 versus cancer. Beat it twice, and definitely the MVP of my life. And just want to send a shout out to him, the whole family supporting him in this fight. And you know, we all out there, unfortunately, know someone battling cancer, so we know what they're going through. But it's great when you get the wins.
You know what your dad did? He raised a good kid, so he's probably pretty proud.
Well, tell him that. Tell him that.
I will. Reno has 11 of Stanford's 29. Petritis cut off. Ola Joseph with nowhere to go. Rises and hits one over Campbell.
And despite the hot start, we're now at a two-possession game. The Cal Bears, like Novocaine, just give it time. It always works.
Renault with a rare miss.
And if you're Maxime Renault, you got to make sure you keep dropping those. But right here, this is a good one-on-one move. Jab, step, spin in the lane. But the most important part is the touch, the finesse at the end, the one-handed hook. Cal with a chance to draw even closer.
After a terrible start, the Bears have made 4 of their last 5 shots. Ola Joseph going right at Renault.
Put him in the mix. Beautiful one-on-one move. Absolutely nothing Renault could do about that one.
Bears within 4. And now 2. Thank you, Corey. Petritis blocks, Blake's from behind. Cal with a chance to tie it or take the lead. Goaltending, and the Bears now lead Stanford. Count the hoop to Stojakovic.
I love what I'm seeing out of Stojakovic. He's a shooter, but when it's time to tie the game, he's not thinking about jumpers. The last 3 or 4 possessions, he's going to the rim, making plays for Cal. Sensational effort, and despite that blistering start, we got a whole brand new ball game right now.
Tied at 29. Blake's for 3. got it.
Big shot for Blakes. You get the inside touch. Cal not respecting his jumper. Had to let him know a little bit right there.
Stojakovic, after a slow start, has 8. And he's just challenging everybody at the rim.
Well, Stanford's dropping back into that 2-3 zone, and they're inviting Cal to play handball and search for an open shot, but Cal's not doing that at all. They want to get to the rim.
Blacksher with a superb handle, pulls up to 3. Here comes Agarwal and Stanford. Hammond goes baseline. Shot clock down to 5. Breaks with another 3. He's made 2 in a row.
He is feeling it. Huge buckets for Stanford. We felt like we were at the tipping point just moments ago, but Blake's trying to slam the door here in the first half.
Blake's has 12. Stanford back up by 6. Blacksher no good. Cameron with the rebound.
Stanford has the mismatch in the post if they can find it.
Sellers for 3. A 3-point barrage, 2 by Blakes, 1 from Sellers. And Stanford trying to get some distance.
Absolute nerves of steel by Stanford. Cal makes a run, and the Bears answer with not 1, not 2, but 3.
You know, on Sunday, we got good men's basketball for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Freshman phenom Cooper Flagg. You seen this guy? I mean, Cooper is phenomenal. Leads number 9 Duke against Chucky Hepburn and Louisville. Our coverage tips at 6 Eastern. Saw him the other night against Auburn. I mean, he's a freshman, and he plays unbelievable. Kyle Smith is in his first year at Stanford, winning programs at Columbia, USF, Washington State, and now with Stanford off to a 7-2 start. A great analytics guy. Fun guy. Says there's challenges, obviously, coaching at Stanford. He's very happy to be in Palo Alto, and so far off to a great start in his first season.
Great coach, always about the details, a great teacher of the game, wants players that are willing to learn and listen. Puts his guys in positions to always excel.
Wilkinson, the freshman, lays it in.
Boy, he is lightning quick with the ball in his hands. Going back to Cooper Flagg, I did get a chance to see him up close and personal. He came in against my beloved Wildcats in Tucson, Arizona. Came in our house and put his feet up on our coffee table. So, tremendous talent. His skill set on that kid is through the roof. He's going to be a great NBA player.
So he's rude. He's a rude guest. Agarwal with the offensive cleanup.
He started 2 for 11 and still finished with 24. Big buckets down the stretch. Didn't shy away from the moment, and he's had those, and he'll continue to get those for the rest of the season. But he's definitely going to be a much better player. Even a few months from now, he'll be much improved.
Stojakovic defended by Sellers well. In fact, the turnover. Now Sellers up above everybody and lays it in.
Stojakovic trying to do a little too much in the one-on-one. Got to respect the zone. He's had success getting to the rim, but take it as it comes to you.
Stanford by 11.
Boy, Dave, how big were those 3 threes Stanford was able to knock down once this game got even?
Completely shifted the momentum. Stojakovic hit too much traffic.
But he might have had a whistle there.
Sellers for 3. Stanford lighting it up from deep. A 16-2 run by the Cardinals.
Talk about, a lot of coaches say they have a balanced attack, but here you see Stanford. They've got the 7-footer inside hitting you with the layups, and now the perimeter players have gotten started. 4 threes here in just the last few minutes.
Wilkinson. Nothing, and Stanford has numbers now as Wilkinson's back. 5-on-4. Now they're back to even strength.
And you see the difference in the two offenses. Cal forcing things in the one-on-one. Stanford letting the ball do the work, trying to find open looks.
Agarwal for 3. Final 25 seconds of the half, and Stojakovic throws it away.
Turnovers and bad shots the last 3 minutes of the half have been the difference for Cal. They made a nice run, but they haven't gotten stops or taken care of the basketball.
Stanford will go into the halftime with their largest lead. They're up by 14. Blake's with the runner, and now it's a 16-point margin.
Blake's got cooking with back-to-back threes, and there you see the floater in the lane, putting the exclamation point on an outstanding first half for him.
Stanford ends the half on an 18-2 run, and they lead 47-31. All right, it's halftime. Let's send it over to Justin Walters and the crew live from Charlotte. Halftime here at Haas Pavilion, where the Cal Bears haven't lost yet. 5-0, but certainly that streak is in jeopardy now. 47-31, Stanford on top. Dave Feldman, along with former Arizona standout Corey Williams. You want to end games on runs, and Stanford certainly ended that first half on a heck of a run.
Well, it was 29-29, and then all of a sudden the wheels just fell off for Cal. Stanford went on a blistering run, which included 4 threes and a bunch of buckets in transition. The Cardinal really answered the call. We knew Cal was going to make a run, but the ball movement, the wide open shots, they were dropping everything, transition. It just all came together for Stanford, and that's how they ended up 16 at the half.
They started off with a run, too. Stanford made 6 of their first 7 shots. Cal only made 1 of their first 7 shots. And Maxime Reynaud has been a story again. 11 points. He's made 5 of 10. Stojakovic has played well. He's got 10, Corey. But he's also sort of forced the action a little bit, and Stanford's done a good job of holding their ground in the paint when he's driven the lane.
Yeah, they've come out with the zone look to try to send an extra defender or keep an extra defender in his area. And for Cal, you've got a ton of time left in this game, but you've got to do things defensively to make Stanford uncomfortable. They are too good inside and out for you to sit back and wait for them to miss. So Cal's got to turn up the defense, and for Stanford, don't rest. Stay aggressive.
The 16-point lead by the Cardinal right now, their largest of the game. They go right to Reynaud. Sissoko giving up a lot of height. Blake's for 3. Hammond with a rebound. Didn't realize he was wide open. Kicks it out to Sellers. And Petritis with the rebound.
Not a bad shot by Sellers, but maybe work the ball around after that offensive rebound.
Petritis, nice pass inside, and Sissoko couldn't finish it. Good hustle by Rytis Petritis.
And that's your best weapon when you've got a 7-footer in there. Shoot the floater.
Already hit a couple threes, but passes on that one. And an offensive foul called on Jalen Blakes. We mentioned the highlight and the hustle of Rytis Petritis. He does all the little things.
Get over it, take position, keep your hands out of there. Does a good job of absorbing the contact. May have sold it a little bit, but the end result is a defensive stop for the Bears. One play at a time. They want to try to climb back into this.
Petritis for 3. Over Reynaud, no good, but Sissoko with an offensive rebound. Blackburn out to 3. He hits.
Great sequence for the Bears. They get the offensive rebound and a clean look. But they've had back-to-back stops, and that's a great way for Coach Madsen's club to start this second half.
Agarwal spinning and lays it in.
tough one-on-one. He's more of a perimeter shooter, but he's also a solid athlete. Cal with the mismatch right here.
Blacksher shirts over Reyno.
Nothing like a 7-footer to make sure you put a little extra arc on your pullback jumper.
That's 5'9", shooting over 7'1".
Just a little over 2 minutes. Cal's been able to shave a little bit off this lead.
Agarwal battling it, and Stanford keeps it.
Well, this first bucket, this is just shooting practice. Wide open, dead on center. But right here, with the big man on roller skates, hit him with the step back. It's a tough guard when you're a 7-footer and you're supposed to guard a lightning quick point guard like that, quickest player on the floor. Good luck.
It takes a lot of confidence to shoot that. A turnover by Mahoney and Stojakovic.
Yeah, Stojakovic just took his eyes off the ball, went right between his legs and out of bounds.
Now Blake's working the 2-man game with Reyno. Reyno for 3. And Maxime Reyno from distance.
Oh, he's such a weapon. He likes to set ball screens so he can pop out. And right there, most centers just don't have the footwork to get out there and defend a 3.
Reyno with 14 to leave Stanford. Blacksher inside, no good. Reyno with a rebound and a foul on Stanford.
I mean, what do? You're kind of in no man's land. You've got the high-low. You have to stay in. And with Reyno, you've got to be in his jersey. He is too good of a shooter. Got to force him to drive.
Foul was called on Sellers for Stanford. Blacksher spinning around but couldn't get it to go. Detritus causing all kinds of problems for Kamen.
And that's what it's going to take for Cal, that extra effort, trying to squeeze as many possessions as they can out of Stanford.
Agarwal all the way.
Had 2 big buckets for him. Right there, just taking the point guard all the way to the rim.
Blacksher made a bad pass and Kamen was there to steal it. Sissoko called for a foul, reaching in on Reyno. So we'll take a break. Cal better offensively, but they got to stop Stanford. Cardinal has a big lead, 54-39.
How would I describe my dance skills from the NBA Finals celebration? 20 out of 10. I got singled out because people said I had no rhythm. Those people are wrong. Those people are mistaken. Those people will see the light at some point in their life.
Have you seen the light yet? Did you like that dance?
The interesting thing is, he said all that, but yet he did not dance to disprove the critics. I thought he was going to show us his 2024 moves, but no.
Second year with the Bears for Mark Madsen, a 2-time All-American at Stanford, where he led the Cardinal to 4 straight NCAA tournaments and, of course, a Final Four appearance. Under former Cal coach Mike Montgomery. All kinds of synergy between Cal and Stanford. So Ryan Agarwal will go to the free throw line. Came into Stanford just kind of as a set shooter and really has turned into a good defender and rebounded. Didn't play much under Jared Haas, but has really found a role here with Kyle Smith. He's
had 6 big points here in the start of the second half. that have kind of kept Cal at distance.
And Agarwal with 11 now. Detritus, great job helping out his fallen teammate. Now Tucker for 3. So Christian Tucker trying to bring the Bears back. Inside to Cameron. Beautiful pass from Reynaud.
And you see Coach Smith up on his feet, applauding the ball movement, knowing his guys are making all the right decisions, sharing the ball.
Stanford is doing a good job, Corey, of protecting the rim.
Yeah, they haven't, they've got a cushion so they can be a little more aggressive defensively, but they've done a good job of making sure there's a no layup rule in effect. Right here, you see the pick and the pocket pass, and got his hand on the ball. They've got the mismatch. Oh, Stanford able to recover.
Stojakovic, no good. And Lee Dort tried to dunk it, no good. Ala Joseph, third effort, no good. Breaks, blocked by the trailing Lee Dort.
Boy, what an athlete. Dort with 2 huge plays.
Agarwal knocks it out of bounds. Cal will keep it.
I mean, there's not a bigger, stronger player on the floor than Dort. Right here, this is what you want. He doesn't convert the layup, but at the other end, just a denial.
Almost hit his head on the backboard.
Great effort. A lot of times guys hang their head after a missed shot, but not Dort. Hustles back, makes a play.
A foul on Agarwal from reaching in behind. His third.
Agarwal found himself being posted up by Dort. I'll give you a question. How many pounds do you think he's giving up in that exchange?
Agarwal to Dort? 50.
He had no choice but to make the foul. Smart play, because that was about to be what Shaquille O'Neal would refer to as barbecue chicken. Stanford now in the zone, communicating.
A foul on Evan Stinson. His first foul. Stinson, an interesting story. They thought about redshirting him. Came back and played his first game in the last game against Utah Valley. Made his first shot, finished with 7. First shot was a 3. He's a good player, and they realized they need to use him. So Ixnay on the redshirt A, and Stinson's playing this season. Dort, another offensive board. Can't finish, but draws the foul. Foul is on Reynaud, his second. Check that on Kamen. So Reynaud doesn't pick up the foul, they give it to Kamen. Hey, coming up next, our Clemson SMU championship coverage continues from Charlotte with a 2-hour pregame show. And then we'll have a command center presentation of the game with 4 different camera angles and real-time player and stats. After the game, we'll have a complete breakdown with coach and player interviews, and you can always watch on the ESPN app. No better way to watch the ACC championship. Blake's inside, but a reach in. So Blake's draws the foul. That's 3 on Detritus. Blake has 14 points, but this is his first trip to the free throw line. Played about 9 minutes a game, Coy, last year in a limited role for Duke. And comes here as a major factor for Stanford.
And it's just about, for a lot of players, the opportunity to show their skill set. Playing time definitely not easy to come by at Duke University. Always loaded year in and year out. But you can see by the way he plays, he's definitely...
He's a nightmare defender. If he's guarding you on ball, you just kind of want to get rid of the ball. He's just so quick and tenacious. And he makes you take a tough shot. Petritis fouled underneath, and that's just another many hustle plays by Rytis Petritis.
And Cal needs 2 or 3 more guys on that level in terms of energy, because what you want is to get to single digits. But you see the tenacious effort, sticking his hand in there, going up for the putback. He just won an extra possession for the Cal Bears just off pure energy.
Second foul on Reynaud. Petritis knocks it down.
And for Cal, the formula is try to get to single digits. If you can get there by the 10-minute mark, you're in decent shape. But they've got to do this in pieces. Get this lead to single digits and then try to make a run.
Tough turnaround, too short. Dort's going right at Reynaud, but got stuck under the hoop.
And I like that play. Go at Reynaud, try to get the 3rd foul on him. They weren't successful, but it definitely was an aggressive approach.
Stenson was not ready for the ball, and Reynaud threw it to him. Tallis Toure comes in, and Reynaud is going to get a quick breather.
Coach Madsen up calling this offensive set for Cal. He knows how important these possessions are. Still plenty of time in this game, but he wants to see his team execute.
Cal has missed their last 7 shots. Make it 8, and not 9, because Lee Dort cleans it up.
Wow. So forceful in the paint. Dort making things easy on the missed 3.
Foul, and nice defensive job by Joshua Ola-Joseph. Lee Dort kind of looks like a man.
Well, Dort, nobody puts a body on Dort. They leave it wide open, and he sends it home.
Corey, what does Cal look to do out of this timeout?
Well, they got a good look the last time when Coach Madsen was up signaling, but now he's had an entire timeout, so he's probably given him a couple different looks. 1 for man, 1 for zone, but make no mistake about it, Cal needs to make a 5 or 6 point run right here, try to set themselves up. It's a big play. Stanford in the man-to-man. Actually, they're in a zone.
Wilkinson to Frost for 3, no good. Stanford gets the rebound. Blakes comes down with it.
Sometimes freshmen have a mind of their own.
Inside, the Harvard transfer with a nice hoop.
A lot of contact on that layup.
Tucker, no good, and an offensive foul on Cal.
This is a point of emphasis right here. You're going to see Dort set the screen and kind of roll, and that's why the young man was so wide open.
First foul on Lee Dort. Cut off. finds Toure, who finishes.
With poor communication by the Bears, somebody's got to rotate over and get inside that. If you're going to double big to big, the other three guys got to react to that.
Corey, would it shock you to know that the Cal Bears have 2 assists? 2.
Yes and no. I mean, they're scoring a lot on individual efforts. A lot of guys taking the ball in their hand and doing their own thing. But even on times like that where they're trying to connect, they're just a little bit out of sync.
By comparison, Stanford has 14. Agarwal's just picked up his 4th foul. He has 11 points. And it looks like Cal Smith's going to get him out and put in Aiden Kamen.
Well, the difference when you talk about assists, I believe that assists flow from the big man. Teams that play inside out, they usually have higher assist totals because the bigs attract attention and then starts the ball movement. Right now, the leading scorers for Cal are 2 perimeter players, while Renault for Stanford's dropped in 14.
Dort no good. Stojakovic, offensive rebound and putback. Stojakovic in double figures with 10 now. Now he has 12. Over and back on Blakes. Maybe a little momentum here for Cal.
It has to be, and they've got to take it however they can get it. Defensive stops, turnovers, big plays, just a little lack of focus as that heel hit the line, and it's going to be a violation. But this zone that Stanford's been in, kind of a 1-3-1, has given Cal some trouble. They don't exactly know where to attack it.
Stojakovic, contested 3, no good. Sellers comes down with it.
And that 3 was partially blocked, and Dort still almost came up with the ball.
Hammond with a running hook, and Stanford up 66-49. Jovan Blacksher with some trickery up and under Maxime Renault.
Well, he is a crafty point guard. He's been making plays all night. But for the Bears, it's starting to become about the defensive end. They got to start putting together multiple stops.
Turnover by the Cardinals.
It's all about recognition when you get an opportunity to create something, and there you see the blow by and the up and under. Sometimes you don't have to go over the big, just go under. A little finger roll action.
Stojakovic cut off and then blocked by Renault. Got it back though. Shot clock on 12 as Blacksher fires. And a foul on Stanford. Aiden Kamen picks up his 3rd foul. And puts Marty Sissoko back to the line.
He did a great job of just holding his ground and causing that defensive foul, and giving Cal 2 free throws.
Sissoko's a great story. Why he makes it, Corey, I will tell you, he comes from a tiny village in Mali, and he's given all his NIL money back to this village. He helped find a well to get clear and clean running water, helped build a hospital and a school. It's an amazing story, and he goes back every summer to help them. Tunga Foya is the name of the small village in Mali. Just a tremendous young man. Started it while he was at Michigan State and has continued it here at Cal.
Well, you figure he's already winning at adulting right now. If you're that great and you're still young, his future is going to be even better. Most young people don't have that kind of foresight.
Great rebound by Hammond. Reno puts it on the deck and gets fouled going to the hoop. Stanford up at Cal, 66-53. Madsen has some issues right now.
The most famous person in my phone, Russell Westbrook. Devin Booker. That's elite. I need that. Famous person in my phone. My mom. My dad, Paige Stojakovic. That's a great answer. Shaq and Carmelo.
Speaking of Pedro Stojakovic, he's here. His son, Andre, told me Pedro's never told him you played a great game. Says his dad is a tough critic. But you like Pedro because you feel that maybe he kept you out of the NBA.
No, Pedro and a list of other gentlemen are the reason I'm here with you today. Part of that 1996 draft, that NBA draft that I believe is the best NBA draft in history. Pedro Stojakovic, multiple times All-Star, great player.
And you ran into him today at the game, and he concurred with you that it was the best draft.
Interestingly, what he told me is he said he didn't know he was going to get drafted. But now looking back at that draft class, he does feel like it was definitely a special one. Tons of talent in that draft class. Allen Iverson, #1 overall pick.
Did you tell him that you felt maybe he cost you an NBA career, and was there some tension?
No, no tension at all. No tension at all. He wasn't in any of the draft camps. Like I said, he didn't even think he was going to get drafted, but that 96 draft, I mean, you look at that class, so many superstars, MVPs, world championship players, Kobe Bryant, Peja, Steve Nash, Ray Allen.
And interesting note, Stephon Marbury Jr. is on Cal. Not suited up to that. Walk-on the team.
Sensational draft class. I believe 23 underclassmen came out that year in 96.
There's Stephon Jr.
And Stephon, his father was just an absolute, what a groundbreaking type of point guard that the league hadn't seen. The physicality, athleticism.
So they're going to take a look at this last play, Corey. Here's what happened, Corey. So Ola Joseph may have inadvertently hit Aiden Cameron with an elbow, and I think that's what they're looking at.
Well, you have these situations where there's obviously contact, then it goes to a question of intent. And right here, I don't know how you purposefully hit someone with an elbow when you're trying to get a rebound. I'd be surprised if there's anything other than incidental contact here.
Yeah.
On the play, there's a basketball.
Yeah. They agreed with you, Corey.
That's why I'm here. And Paige is over there, and I'm here with you because this is what I do. Everybody's where they're supposed to be.
It worked out.
It worked out. Bears trying to extend this pressure. Stanford doing a great job of reacting to the pressure, getting good shots all night. They haven't been rattled. Not a ton of turnovers for Stanford.
Akara bumped from behind. Six team fouls, so the next one, Stanford will be shooting one-on-one. Blake's grabbed by Wilkinson. And Wilkinson, Blake sold it, and if he did, he sold it well because it is a foul on the freshman, Jeremiah Wilkinson, and now Blake's will go to the free throw line because Stanford is in the bonus.
Great execution by Stanford. 10 seconds to shoot. They get their two best players in a two-man game, and Blake smart enough to draw that foul and get to the free throw line.
sixth with 18 points now to lead the Cardinal. Wilkinson went right at Waino.
That's a tough move right there. One-on-one against the 7-footer. Cal getting downhill, not afraid to attack the rim. It's just that on the defensive end, they've given up some big shots.
Waino for three. And the big man is good again.
But it's so tough when you have to leave him to help out defensively because you just can't get back to him in time. And at 7-2, he's up there shooting that thing all by himself.
He's 17 points and 3 of 4 from 3. Waino, back-to-back threes, good. Stanford has their largest lead and Cal takes timeout.
And the difference between Waino last year and this year, he's a finisher. He will drive a stake through your heart. A tremendous talent. Stanford up 20.
Stanford has its biggest lead, up 20 over Cal, and Maxime Waino a major reason why. He's made 8 of 14 from the field, including 4 of 5 from 3. He has 20 points. He has been a one-man wrecking crew, Corey.
Anytime he's gotten a look, it's just a question of if he gets a look. See the efficiency, 8 to 14, those are great numbers. 4 of 5 from 3, and he hasn't really had a lot of contested shots tonight. Great line for Maxime Waino.
Conversely, Andrei Stojakovic averages almost 19 a game. He only has 12. He's 6 of 18 from the field.
High basketball IQ. Plays within the game, doesn't force things. Stanford's done a good job of getting to him, and he drills a three right there. A nice step back. Might be too little, too late, though.
I don't think he liked what we were talking about. Give and go, and somehow Sellers missed the easy layup, but was fouled underneath. That might be the easiest shot he's missed all day.
Yep.
Ritas Petrides now has 4 fouls. Hey folks, on Sunday we've got good men's basketball for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Freshman phenom Cooper Flagg leads number 9 Duke against Chucky Hepburn in Louisville. Our coverage tips at 6 Eastern. You said you didn't like the way Cooper treated your Arizona family?
Not especially. I mean, they came in, played well, great defense down the stretch.
Stojakovic back-to-back hoops. He has 17 now. So only 1 field goal off his average. Akpar bumped from behind, and Chisholm Akpar, the Harvard transfer, will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
You know, despite what happens over the remaining minutes of this game, I think both teams will go back and look at the final 4 minutes of the first half. That's when Stanford made their run. And Cal has never been able to recover from that. They've simply traded baskets for most of the second half. And that's going to be the story for a lot of teams in college basketball. The way the talent is spread out among the conferences, if you play a bad 3 or 4 minutes of basketball, that's it. These teams are so competitive. There's no David and Goliath situations in the ACC where you just know somebody's going to walk in and walk out with a win. So you got to bring your A game every night.
Akpar makes 1 of 2, 79-62. Stanford. Stojakovic now has his season average. He's got 19.
Just looks so easy for him when he raises up to shoot that three. Great release.
draws the foul, will go back to the free throw line. He's an interesting story, Corey Akbara, because he played at Harvard, where that big body could do whatever he wanted. But here in the Pac-12, a little undersized. Has to work a little harder in the paint. Stanford in control. Back for the Final Four in a moment. Coming up next, our Clemson SMU championship coverage continues from Charlotte with a 2-hour pregame show. Then we'll have a command center presentation of the game with 4 different camera angles and a real-time player and team stats. And after the game, we'll have a complete breakdown with coach and player interviews. You can always watch on the ESPN app. Look forward to watching that as Corey and I get to put our feet up. But first, some business here. 79-65 Stanford. Under 4 minutes. While we were in the break, Stojakovic's 3 was ruled a 3. They had called it a 2, now a 3, so it's 79-65 and now 80-65. And Stojakovic has 20 to Maxime Reynaud's 20 for Stanford. Down 16, 4 minutes to go. What are you trying to do here, Corey?
Well, you're trying to get turnovers, but good luck with that. Stanford's done a great job handling the ball, and then there you see the big fella creating the wall, being a rim protector. There's just no easy buckets for Cal tonight, and Stanford hasn't been forced into too many bad shots and turnovers. Very well-coached team. There you see the discipline. Back it out. Run more clock.
Just as you say that, the steal. See if they count that hoop by Sissoko.
Go ahead, count that. Give the big fella the and one.
They do count it. How about the wheels and finishability of Monty Sissoko?
Yeah, he gets in the passing lane. There you see the sprint out. And now look at the ball handling skills. The 1-2 Euro step. Actually took 3 steps.
Well, the ball was on his head for a while.
And they gave him the continuation, trying to spark this Cal team here with a little over 3 minutes remaining.
Sissoko with 9 now. Blake's being hounded by Blacksher, but being very careful with the ball. Now the 2-man game with Reynaud, who stops and shoots the 3. A rare miss for Maxime. Blacksher's handle was just something special. Petrides left alone. Crowd favorite Ritas Petrides for 3. And Stanford calls timeout. Cal within 10.
It's the combination they've been looking for. A defensive stop followed by a 3.
Back in a moment.
Cal trying to make a run here. They've got it to a 10-point game. And here's how they've done it. Penetration, little vision, the kick, and the stick. 3 ball from the corner. The Bears making a run. That's what they've been waiting for all night long. A couple of plays to bounce their way.
Petrides has 9. That was his first 3 of the game. We'll see what Kyle Smith does. Now Stanford sort of using much more clock until they found underneath. And
that's going to be
arrow goes to Cal.
Possession arrow Cal. Hold on, folks.
Both teams have 2 timeouts left.
If you're Cal, free throws are your friend right here.
Ola Joseph, that's a 3. Cal is within 7. A 9-0 Cal run.
Big 3. Probably not the best shot, but a shot they took and were able to connect.
misses underneath, and a late whistle that Mark Madsen can't believe.
And I can't believe it either. You miss a point-blank layup, and then it's just a rebound. I don't call that foul in a game like this. Cal has a right to be upset. Right here, the penetration. Stojakovic can't find anybody. Dead center, 3-ball, trying to sell the foul to the ref. Didn't get that.
Out par to the free throw line. Makes it.
But Stanford's grateful to be at the free throw line. He just misses this layup. And then right there, that's anybody's ball. That's not a foul. I'm sorry.
Timeout by Cal. .74, minute 53 left. Wasn't it just a moment ago, Corey? It was a 20-point game?
It was a 20-point game not too long ago. And Cal has strung together a couple of 3-point plays, and here we are.
Cal on a 9-0 run. Stojakovic has 20 now. And Stanford's become a little tentative with the basketball.
Little tentative. They've got good play from their guards all afternoon. That'll have to continue to close this game out. But the problem with Stanford right now is they're kind of searching who's going to shoot, who's going to shoot. This is where Renault has to step up. This is where Blakes has to step up, make some baskets, calm the team down. It's like hot potato right now for Stanford. They've got to settle down, be more effective.
Cal has not lost at home this season. 6-2 overall. Stanford 7-2. I mean, this heated rivalry normally takes place in February and March. This is the earliest we mentioned that these two teams have ever played in basketball. The first time in conference play before Christmas. And Akbar will get another. To score. They don't have to rush, but they need to do it quickly, if that makes sense. Blackshear blocked by Renault.
Blackshear going to the well a little once too often. Renault with a big defensive play, takes 2 points off the board.
Sellers the extra pass, and Akbar missed everything. But Cal almost threw it out. They saved it. Petrides saved it. Stojakovic for 3. Banks it in. Stojakovic has 23. It's a 6-point game. And they turn it over. And the ball goes out of bounds. We were blocked. Blackshear turned it over.
Cal fortunate to save the ball, and then Stojakovic online banking on a Saturday. That's cash.
And that play was made by Petrides, another hustle play, as he dove in. At what point do you foul here, Corey?
I think it's a two-possession game. You got to play this out. Now we're inside of 15.
Sellers, blocking foul, and Osiah Sellers will go to the line and shoot 2.
Such a bang-bang play. Was he set? Was he in front of the circle? We'll take a look. There's the penetration. He's there. That's another one. I don't agree with down the stretch.
Mark Madsen wants a timeout.
And he's upset, and I feel everything he's feeling right now. This player was set and above the circle. Could have been a player control. What you teach your guys to get over there, take the hit. Both feet are there.
It's a bang-bang play, right?
And he takes a shot to the face, elbow to the face on top of it. Cal Bears can't believe the call. Looks like Sellers will shoot. As they say, it is what it is. But man, what more can you ask of the Bears? Might be a little too late this afternoon.
Cal had a reason to be upset. Cal's last time out. This is how they got back with that 20-6 run. A resilient Cal team at home tonight, but that call is going to weigh large as Isaiah Sellers goes to the line and shoots 2. Sellers has 14 points. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
To come all the way back in a situation like this, what you need are 2 things. Live ball turnovers and missed free throws, and that's usually just something Stanford's not going to give you.
And a couple breaks. And that wasn't a break on that last one.
You need a good whistle, but more importantly, you need those live ball turnovers.
Final 35 seconds, Stojakovic. And now they need to foul. Akpara inside.
Good execution by Stanford, keeping the ball high, and the steal.
Blake steals it and lays it in.
That's going to close things out.
The great comeback from Cal is going to come up short. The finish by Sissoko, but there's only 7 seconds left and an 8-point lead. Sellers can just run out the clock and Stanford hangs on.
A nice run by Cal in the second half. Some plays down the stretch just didn't go their way, but Stanford, a solid effort the whole 40 minutes. Big win on the road for them.
That is a good win by Kyle Smith. 89-81 is our final score. For Corey Williams and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dave Feldman. Thanks for watching ACC basketball. And now we'll send it over to Taylor Tannenbaum and the ACC Huddle crew live from Charlotte. Goodbye from Berkeley.